Howdy y'all, this is Texas Gaming Industries here, and welcome to episode 7, part 3 of my Let's Play of Transport Fever 2. In the previous episode, we continued to expand our operations by adding some new routes to deliver champagne, having funding problems, but now delivering machines and lumber into Paris to help build a machine that will fly from France to England. And in this episode, we are basically going to do that and hopefully earn enough money to pay back most of the loan that I have borrowed from the bank. So as we can see, our trucks are delivering their loads of lumber into Paris, and we got to make sure that our competitor isn't basically going to beat us for the flight. As you can see, there's an airfield located outside of Paris. This is where Latrim or somebody, I can't remember what the narrator said at this time right now, but this guy right here is making practice flights. We just gotta keep him holding until the beginning of, well, the competition. So once he's in the air, we sabotage, and then you'll have to go back and fix his airplane before taking another round again. And some of my trains are actually doing pretty well. Let me have a look at my balances. For trains, that is. Huh. 4 of my trains are basically making a profit now. At least one of them is. One of my passenger trains, passenger train E. Now it's 5. Guess I'm actually doing a lot better than I expected. Now with the trucks delivering their loads of lumber into town, we could finally get an airplane that's ready to fight against the competition.
What a fabulous flying machine. Now you ought to rustle up more fuel so that the plane doesn't run out of juice halfway across.
Now we have another important task. Delivering fuel all the way to Calais. Now, we could just basically use trucks, but considering that it might be permanent, we might as well deliver it by rail. I know it's going to be a bit of a risk, but hey, fuel trains are going to probably be the most profitable. I need a lot of money to cover my debt, so I can basically buy everything I need and not have to borrow so much. We'll place one near the fuel refinery, and we'll basically extend the track out from the main line here. And build the track to this point. Of course, I'll need to set a signal and add a double slip switch. Then we'll add a freight train. Oh wait, I actually forgotten to build the connecting track. Not what I was expecting. Okay, track is level. Cross over the main line, and then curve. Well, is there any railroad cross? There's one over this, so to make sure that the cars don't have to wait for another train, I'm just gonna basically construct a bridge over the road. I do this often in my games, as I want to make sure that no one gets delayed by a train twice. I mean, everybody has places to be. Alright, that's done. We'll add a signal there and here, and add the double slip switch there, and add a signal for protection, and now we'll need to purchase some equipment. We'll get this, and several of these tank wagons. To 170 units of fuel. This is going to be quite a train. I'll just get enough money to purchase it, and then repay as much as I can back. So now we are at 18 million. And I actually forgotten to label this as Freight Train C. Give it a blue line color and make it wait at the fuel refinery for 10 minutes to load up. All the while, my equipment could basically load up and basically make a profit. Dang it, I've forgotten to sabotage his plane. We don't have much time left before the competition, and I want to make sure that my rival isn't going to go into the air with confidence. Right. Well, oh, you've got to be joking. Father. Let's see. I could stop the train here for now. Borrow a little bit of money, then just build a switch to the other line. This will allow the other train to basically cross over. Well, once this train of champagne passes through it. Good. Now that the train is making its way to the fuel refinery, at least I can then delete this track once that other train clears this switch. And I can also delete the slip switch as well. Delayed some of my trains, but it won't be too much of a problem now. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but I'll cut this video right here. And we're back! As our fuel train has arrived at its destination, making a pretty 2.43 million credits. That should be enough to cut down on the loan a little. I also did some modifications to the freight, the hull near the port to allow more deliveries of champagne. It's not flying. Sabotage again. I'm so busy focusing on my transport empire that I've forgotten to sabotage his plane. Hopefully, we'll become...
Your rival has been hit with a stroke of outrageously bad luck. For reasons unknown, his plane is exhibiting countless malfunctions. Now it's going to be impossible for him to cross the channel ahead of you.
Nice.
Everything has been taken care of. The weather looks good. But regrettably, poor Mr. Blériot broke both arms during the preparations. Now you're supposed to have the honor to carry out the maiden flight across the channel.
Well then. Guess we'll have to do it this way, I guess. We'll basically make a stop in Rennes and travel overseas into Dover. Let's hope that the new plane that our friend has made works. Because if that plane falls into the ocean, well, we can kiss the aviation age for the world goodbye. But at least, with all these trucks, we can still transport a huge amount of commodities here. Speaking of which... I'm hemorrhaging so much freaking money! Well, at least some of these buildings are basically going to be holding some of the money. Oh well, some of the champagne. I know champagne is quite expensive, but let's see. Hopefully this airplane will make it over to Dover. Surprisingly, there's actually one person wanting to fly back. Actually, why not let it? This could be kind of funny. We're carrying one particular friend of ours over to France. And there's a lot of people here too to say hello to our airplane.
A brilliant achievement. You're the pride of the nation. Except that your friend is taking it badly that the honor of crossing the channel wasn't given to him. From now on, he's going to keep his hands off flying and stick to designing aircraft. Because they're a hot item now.
Indeed. But first of all, let's see how much money this plane will make when it lands down in Calais. Calais, basically. If it's basically in the thousands, I would be surprised. Because it depends on how fast the transport's there and how much quantities you carry.
The champagne industry is hosting a big flight contest. The point is, flying and champagne have a lot in common. Both are a tingling experience and the perfect match for daredevils. Mr. Blériot has placed his latest design at your disposal. Use it to scoop up the grand prize at the flight week in Reims. Monsieur Daniel, an aviation enthusiast from the petroleum industry, is tinkering with a new blend of fuels. Help him by providing your services. He'll return the favor by filling up your tank.
So it seems our little plane made 8 grand of credits delivering a passenger overseas. But other than that, though, now we have another commodity that needs to be delivered to the workshop. Fuel.
An Austrian swashbuckler is pursuing an audacious plan to fly without an airplane. The self-styled Batman wants to design a flight suit and use it to jump off the Eiffel Tower, then soar like an angel over the rooftops of the city. You're supposed to give him a helping hand.
I don't like the idea of this, but okay.
The Austrian needs fine, pliable types of wood for his batsuit. Obtain the desired material.
So now we have another destination for our lumber, as well as champagne. So if there's too much champagne, basically not being delivered into town, we can at least deliver wood there. Well, if there's a lot of... You know what I'm saying. Speaking of which... There we go. It needed a good spot to drop off the fuel. Full load, 10 minutes. And we're basically making over 4 million. That's actually really freaking good. Okay, so let's see. Put that into E. Let's see, which one was the planks? D. So we'll make another one called D1 and the other one D2. As we'll need to deliver these planks to this workshop. And we also got to build a new truck stop. It's 5 units long, so green, full load, 10 minutes. Truck service D2. And now, purchase 10 of these. And put them into service. I am gonna cut back to when both of our trucks have arrived at our destination, and I'll see you all in just a moment. And we're back, as it seems that our first trucks of fuel have just beginning to roll into town to be unloaded at the workshop. And at the same time, our trucks of wood are being loaded. I guess there's only needs to be just one unit of wood delivered, I guess. So, basically, in hindsight, that's all we just need to do. I know this little area for dropping off fuel is a little crude, but It'll do, I guess. Though, our company's finances are looking a heck of a lot better now. And our HQ for our operation, called French Transport Corporation, is doing pretty well. Basically made a profit of over 3.13 million credits? Huh. Guess I am built quite a system that a lot of people like to use. As long as people are using it, I am satisfied. And if towns are growing splendidly, I am satisfied. There's no overcrowding, no traffic, but the emissions are kind of poor in some of my cities. That's basically affecting growth. And with those extra trucks, now my cargo ships have finally started to earn
It won't be
better
long
profit.
before the grand flight week starts. The organizing committee needs help with the preparations. A grandstand needs to be built for the guests. As for the beverages, no one should be left high and dry.
Well, fortunately for me, this truck stop will deliver champagne into town, though I'll have to find a way to deliver more lumber into town. Considering that I have been making a little more cash lately.
Goodness gracious. The contraption that the Batman intends to fly with doesn't look very airworthy. Protect him from himself. Steer him away from his crazy plan by giving him champagne to get him thinking about something else.
Huh. Guess I do have to deliver champagne then. Well, no time like the present. Let's see. I could at least sign a new service for this operation. Let's see. Truck service C2. And we'll rename this C1. Green. Below any 10-minute. Then acquire 10. And then there we go. But now we need to just deliver lumber to Rebs for unloading. This won't be a bit of a problem, as we could simply just build a freight station right nearby. It may be in a residential area, but who cares? As long as I'm making a profit on my operations, I am very much content. We'll then connect it to here, place down the slip switch, as well as add a signal. Hopefully this lumber train will also help me boost my company profits so I can at least be able to pay off my entire loan. Jeez. I never thought I would see the day that I would be hemorrhaging so much money from the bank just to keep my company afloat. But I guess all businesses have to start off some way like this. And then add those signals, and then basically purchase a new train. We'll do it like this, and like this. Freight train F, I believe. Oh, no, it's not that. It's freight train D. Fill it up with a full load at 10 minutes. And then acquire another of these goods engines and several of these flatbed wagons. And I'll sign into freight train D. This is going to take a while for this train to arrive at its destination, so I'll be right back. And we're back.
Oh no, the good man is 3 sheets to the wind and gung-ho. He's already climbing up the tower. Take precautions to make his landing a soft one.
That won't do if that man dies, so lay down the haystack.
That was a close shave again, but nothing serious. The Batman is more or less in one piece, and already staggering off to design a new suit.
I don't know if he's crazy or something. I just don't know. But at least we know where the hay bale asset is. Unfortunately, it has a collision, which means I can't place it down at the end of the track to make it look like ballast is piling up on that bumper. Oh well. Better than nothing, I suppose. And we got our first load of planks delivered to the stand. All we just need is just a couple more loads. Although it is blocking this Y switch. So we'll have to basically, if I earn a little more money, please, as now we're at our maximum loan of 30 million credits, place down some new signals. Jeez. Who knew that building this empire would be so bloody expensive? And it's gonna get more expensive as time goes on, and it's I try to basically make everybody pleased with my services. Hopefully the sawmill will basically transport more loads of lumber to our train. Because we made over 166 credits on that delivery. We'll just turn this train around and see how much money we'll make on this one. We gotta get this finished so we can basically take our plane across the Atlantic again. All the while, my equipment basically kind of got a little bit of a refresh. As I put all their their conditions back to very good, and then basically put them back to normal. I like to do this to make sure that my equipment, while it is a couple of years old, can still look a little pristine, though it costs a little bit higher in maintenance costs. But it shouldn't take too long for the delivery of planks, as it just needs to travel up the line and take a right just past this Y switch. Though the signal is kind of blocking the mainline switch. And I just set it to as a one-way switch, so no train could even enter or exit that area. And now, I am back in debt again, at 29 million credits. Hopefully, this will be the last mission we do, before we can finally do the impossible. Getting a plane from France over to England. Basically between the two capitals. Well, at least one of our trains has been making a bit of a steady profit. Our company score is still 10. We need to get that fixed.
We're off. Guests from all over Europe want to marvel at your flying skills. Even the president is here. Show the audience your stuff and win first prize in the long-distance race.
Which reminds me, I have to earn a little more money again in order for me to buy that airplane. And it needs to be at 2,000 meters of flight. Which could basically dang, the Dover airport is not available, but see. Reims to Le Mans could basically be a very good source. I just need a little more money from this train, and to quickly buy it before I go into the red again. And let's set up a new plane route. From Reims all the way to Le Mans. Let's put the airplane out, and hopefully, if we win this competition, we can finally be able to get ourselves ready for the grand event. A contest to fly over the channel into London. And if we do that, we will basically showcase that the world of aviation has finally arrived. The plane is off, and now it needs to last 2,000 meters in the sky, which can easily be done given the distance.
What a pain. You're that close to winning when an American forces you out in the race for the cup. But Baroness LaRoche is obsessed with flying and eager to buy your airplane.
And let's sell it for some cash.
An English publisher, a certain Lord Rawnsley, organizes a flying contest from London to Paris. He wants to use it to prove that no one else is a match for England in the air. But you're going to turn the tables on him. Your friend is delighted by your daring proposal and willing to entrust you with a plane from his latest series if you assist him during production. Various interested parties want to place a large order with your friend Blériot. Newly established flight training schools are showing interest. The same goes for flamboyant thrill seekers and, of course, the military. Which order should your friend accept first?
Now, I normally go for the military, but for flight schools and stunt flying, I have not yet checked. But airplanes for the military is basically a very standard contract, and considering that we'll eventually enter World War I, we might as well, just in case.
The military wants to supervise the production process on site and dispatch a delegation to do so. Make sure they find their way to the hangar.
And now we need to transport 50 military personnel to the production facility in Le Mans. And by personnel, just passengers. So this will be a very, very easy operation for us. Just need a little more cash. Somehow, well, our train is picking up more lumber, that's for sure. Oh, this one is not even needed anymore. Well, might as well use some of the money on selling the train and then demolishing the infrastructure. I can get a little bit of a money back by selling the state, by demolishing the depots. But if the tracks are kept for too long, then they basically are not ready. There we go. And of course, to delete this spur track and this freight station. And of course, this road. We'll just keep the signal as it is, and we basically have saved a little bit of extra money. And our company has nearly reached of transporting over 10,000 items of cargo. And that's a bit of a big achievement in my books, which is basically going to be one of the goals in the free mode game. Well, I still need to finalize on what my objectives in the free mode games are for each particular region I'm going to play, but so far, it's going to be quite an easy ride. Now, there are still going to be some passengers traveling to Le Mans, so I'll be right back once we're finished with our Army aircraft contract. And we're back as we finally complete our military contract.
With your help, Mr. Blériot was able to design the ideal airplane for the London to Paris race. A large number of magnificent men with their flying machines from all over Europe waits at the starting line. Show them which nation truly masters aviation.
Now with that done, all we need to do is wait to have enough money to purchase this airplane for the final time, and then the race is on. Hopefully, we'll have a little bit more time for money once more my vehicles arrive with their deliveries. It's slow, but eventually I'll have enough money to basically bring in the special plane for the big event. I don't know what to say right now. I just wish my financial situation was a lot better. But it really isn't. I try hard. Oh, we finally have enough money. And we don't. Come on. It shouldn't take too long. But hey, we got over 10,000 items of cargo shipped. That's great. I'm not going to take out another loan. It's just too darn expensive to keep taking out loans and not earning enough to basically cover it up. Hopefully one of my long distance freight trains is able to make up this somehow, wherever they are. Come on. Shouldn't take too long. There's a train of champagne. And there's our train of steel. Where's our train of fuel? Oh, it just departed. You know what? Forget it. I'm taking out all the money. And I'm finally buying an airplane because we got a race to win. And as a treat, let's ride in the cockpit and fly all the way from Paris to London and bring the aviation world into motion.
Yeah, United 446. 113, we'll do the visual.
Oh, I actually realized that when I pressed the horn button, there's airplane crew chatter with them talking on their radios. That's pretty neat. Alright, flying over the channel, passing by one of my cargo ports, taking a left, and touchdown. And that is the coup de grace. We have basically brought the world of aviation to the masses, and we have completed this mission.
You did it. You beat everyone. Long live the grand nation in aviation. Vive la France.
Indeed, it is quite a very satisfying conclusion. Now, airplanes can eventually be mass-produced in France, and eventually the world will go into the aviation market. But we'll have to wait and see.
Majorca, a peaceful island in the Mediterranean. The Midwest in the golden 20s. The US economy is booming. The constantly growing cities are pulsing with life. Motorcars crowd the streets, which will soon be too narrow for all the traffic. Exhaust pipes blast their fumes in the urban canyons, while radios blast out new kinds of music. A new era is dawning.
Which we'll discover in the next episode.
Mankind is constantly...
So, if you enjoyed this episode of my Let's Play of Transport Fever 2, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to Texas Gaming Industries for new uploads every Friday or Saturday, depending on my outside schedule, and to look forward to the next episode where we tackle Mission 2 of Era 2. This is Texas Gaming Industries saying thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!